Hello, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. It is 9:45 here in Dallas, Texas. This is Waithaka-Koinange, and I am so excited to be here to be talking about a couple of things. I thought I need to be talking about current trending and life skill issues as a sub to what I'm doing on the side, the things of God. So this is just purely just you and I talking for entertainment and empowerment purposes. So I hope you can see me well. I'm trying to get this lighting on. So, as you know, one of the trending and current issues right now are the topic about the Oscars with Will Smith and Chris Brown smack, the slap that was had all over the world. Oh my goodness. So I just wanted to put in my 2 cents with this, since everyone is chipping in and saying this and this and this. So I'm not here to judge Will Smith or Chris Rock or the wife, Jada. I'm not here to talk specifics on their characters and stuff like that. My take in this, because I want to add value to you, is to talk about things that we need to be conscious about in life to avoid having a situation like this. So I'm thinking about emotional intelligence. What was going on in Will Smith's mind when Chris Rock was saying all those things and his wife was sitting by the side? What could he have done differently to change the situation that he is in right now? So let's talk about emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is the ability to perceive, use, understand, manage, and handle emotional situations in a positive way. So when Will Smith heard all those things, my take is looking things in a different angle. What could he have done differently? Obviously, he was under a lot of stress. All eyes, the whole world was on him and the wife when Chris was throwing all these jabs on him, right? What could he have done differently? He was under stress. How could he have communicated differently? My take is that he should have just let Chris say what he needed to say. And then during break or at the end of the day, he would have talked to him or had the publicists have this conversation. And as opposed to him physically going there, he's an icon. I mean, many people look up to him. Both of them are stars. So because of that act of him physically putting his hand on him, number one, it showed that he does not know how to manage his emotions. That's where emotional intelligence comes in. Don't let someone push you to a point where you come out of your character. He had to apologize and say that is not the kind of man that he is. But he let that situation come in and change who we thought he was. So because of that one thing, connecting the dots, it has touched his money. So my take in this is for you to think, anytime someone is trying to get you out of character, think about what you're going to lose. What are you going to lose if you fall for what the other person is saying? So for Will Smith, he's losing money, endorsements. A good name shines in the dark. So now we don't see him as the cool, fresh Prince of Bel-Air, the cool guy who is cool, calm, and collected. We see him as a guy who has anger management issues. So when you are in a situation where someone is throwing jabs at you, think about your family, think about yourself, think about, like, in this entertainment business that they are in, that is how they make their money. That's how we know him. So now it's touched his money because he has to drop out of the Academy Awards. He was in this arts group club. He has to drop out of that. So chances of him ever going back to the Oscars for nomination for another Oscar, can you imagine after all that, then he gets nominated with the highest award? How humiliating that was, you know? So because of that, this is going to touch his money. If he was endorsed by, for example, Nike, Adidas, or whoever, They'll drop in because that's their brand. They don't want to be associated with someone who is going to mess up their good name. So, number one, we need to consider the consequences of anger, the ripple effect. Can you imagine that 1 minute decision that he did has affected not only his career, he's also affected the friendship between him and Chris Rock, because they did have a friendship in the past. So now their friendship is tainted. Don't forget their families. This guy, Chris Rock, obviously has a family. Will Smith has children. So now, if you hear about issues that have happened in the world, you hear so-and-so's family at some point did this to this family. Because of that, 20, 30, 40 years later, this is what happened. So now, I don't know if saying sorry is going to solve this problem. So just because you've done something and said sorry does not mean it's going to erase everything you've done. Does not mean that you'll have mercy and grace in this society that we live in. So he's affected his children also. What about the embarrassment of his family, his children? Wherever the children go, like how we are joking and throwing jabs about this whole situation, imagine how the children are feeling. Imagine how Chris Brown is feeling. On the flip side, Chris Brown, I'm thinking about Chris Brown, Chris Rock. Imagine how Chris Rock is feeling. At that moment, I watched the video, the replay, and he was obviously very embarrassed. It doesn't matter who you are. When someone puts their hands on you, they are violating you. And he was a gentleman because he said he was not going to press charges, but he was also embarrassed. But look at what has happened to his career. Last week, Chris Rock went to a show that he usually has. You know, he's a comedian. He got a standing ovation for more than, I hear, is it 5 minutes? People are just out there applauding him like, Chris, you did a good job. You didn't, you didn't come out of your character. Now, although Chris is the one who was throwing jabs that many of you may think were inappropriate, he is now no longer the victim. He's now the victim. He's no longer the guy that was the aggressor. So now people are now, of course, everyone has their own team. There's team Chris Rock, there's team Will Smith. But with Chris Rock now, we hear that the concert or his show was sold out. And I think it was like, what, $800 a piece? So Chris Rock right now is making money. He's making money as opposed to Will Smith, who is now losing money. So think about that. People don't forget. In the next 10, 20 years, we'll still be talking about this saga of what happened. You know about stars. We know when you hear about Michael Jackson, all the things that had happened in his life, you know, about all those cases he went to court. They never disappeared. People do not forget. Even when he was doing his concerts and all that, you know, some radio stations stopped playing his songs. People do not forget. So my friends out there, I'm trying to help you bring focus on how you need, the importance of how you need to manage your anger. Take a deep breath. Even if someone is saying something, to think about the big picture, the ramifications of an action that can cost you your life. What if Chris Brown had a gun, or one of his fans or whatever went, and then now there was an actual fist fight? So many things could have gone wrong. So many, because emotions are already triggered. What if he had a knife, a pen knife? For example, someone would have been physically hurt. Or what if these people were gangsters? They would have been like, Chris Rock's family is gonna fight Will Smith's family, and now there's a gang. So many things would have gone wrong just because of that one bad decision. Now think about the wealth aspect. Money is lost. Do you know how much money Will Smith is paid per movie? Like, is it The Bad Boys? He was making millions in the box office. So he's going to lose money. And you know, even if you have so much wealth, if you don't manage it well and you're depending on your career, like many of us, you have to work to maintain their lifestyle. So he is going to be dwindling down as opposed to moving up. So his wealth has been affected. There are consequences with that. The other thing is, we need to be disciplined in our reaction. Will Smith had a loss of emotion. Don't let people push you out of your character. Apparently, he was laughing when Chris was saying the joke. And then he looked at his wife and noticed that she was hurt by the words that this guy had said. So, because of that, because of someone else, he took the law in his hands as to defend his wife. That was the wrong angle. He didn't have to react that way. Everybody else was laughing. Be the bigger guy. Be the bigger guy when it comes to situations like that. He would have just sat down because he's saying, I was trying to defend my wife. Well, and then people are saying, why didn't the wife stop him when he was going to the stage? The mom said she's never seen Will Smith act that way. So the main thing it boils down to an individual decision. We have to make an individual decision of managing our emotions. So what if Chris Rock pressed charges? That means Will Smith would have gone to jail. It is a felony to put your hands on someone. And this is not something he would have hid because the whole world saw it was a recorded event. He would have gone to jail. Imagine losing your freedom because of less than 30 seconds of a bad decision. And then, of course, we talk about the loss of life that could have happened, the loss of his career. Now there's all this talk that they might even take back his Oscars. His Oscar award, who knows? But isn't that, and then right now he's at the top, the pinnacle of his career. He is right there. You know, when you win the Oscar award, you're at the top, the peak of your, career. So now it's just, this is messy, really messy. So in other words, emotional intelligence, we have to have strategic thinking. Do not let anyone mess with your money. Where you get your bread. Will Smith, he's messed with his money. Endorsements, people now are on hold. Movies that he would have done that he was scheduled to shoot, everything's on hold because he's going to mess up the brand of, for example, Sony or whoever it is that is producing. Nobody wants to hang out with someone who is cannot manage their anger. So he's losing money. Be strategic in your thinking. Anytime something happens, think about, how is it going to affect my money? That's how I think. No one's going to take food out of my mouth. Think strategically. All right, then Chris is saying this about my wife. So what? Okay, everyone's laughing. Read the mood in the room. Read the mood. Okay, fine. And then address it later on, So ramification, cause and effect. Because of this has happened. Cause and effect. So what I want to say is, I don't know if Chris Rock and Will Smith will ever be cool again. This relationship is tainted. And it's sad because you've seen over the years, if you follow all these social media celebrities, I follow them. And you can see that they had good friendships from 10, 20 years ago. Yeah. But also on the other flip side, I don't want to bash Will Smith too much. On the flip side, we also need to be careful with our words. Yeah, Chris Brown, that's how he makes his Chris Rock. What is with Chris Brown? What is with Chris? I don't know what I'm thinking about Chris Brown. I think he's, I don't know, Chris Brown. He also had the issues with Rihanna. You see, all this violence. I think that was what was at the tip of my mouth. So, Chris Rock, did he have to go all in on Will Smith? I know it's his job, but was it the appropriate place? Then some people will say no, but when is it an appropriate place? That's how he makes money. When you sit at the front of the seats, then you know you're going to be fried. That's what they say. When you sit there, you pay that money or you're acknowledged, you're that kind of a star, then, when you're up there, be ready for people to bash you or whatever and just take it gracefully and let it go. So that was my take. Let's learn to overcome challenges. And if you know you have anger management issues or you are stressed out, try and sort yourself out. Get help. Get help. There's nothing wrong with going to anger management classes. If you're overwhelmed, there's no problem in talking to someone so you can contain. Right now, everybody's stressed in the world. With this COVID-19, people losing jobs, gas prices. I just talked to one of my cousins in Kenya, and he was telling me that there's gas, petrol, you call it petrol, yeah? Petrol, gas shortage. Here in the States, I put gas and it was almost $5 a gallon. It was $70 to fill up my tank. So people are stressed in all levels, but let's manage our stress. Let's learn to think before we act. Let's manage our emotions. Let emotional intelligence be at the forefront of our thinking. Let us consciously be emotionally intelligent in situations. Don't lose money because you reacted in a certain way. Don't lose relationships because you reacted in a certain way. So this is Dr. Alice. I am here to add value to your life. I want you to know that you can manage your anger. You can manage your emotions. Take a deep breath. Get help if you need to. Don't be in this saga, this situation where you'll be losing money, losing friendships, tainting your good name. And you know, when you mess up your good name, you have to do so much damage control to bring it back. And maybe you might never even be able to recover. Who knows? Will see Smith ever recover? What do I know? What do I know? Anyway, that is what I wanted to say. That's my 2 takes on this. This is my comb, my speaker. That is my 2 pieces of advice. That is my thought. Let us also not be too judgmental. We don't know what people are going through. So that's my take on this. Emotional intelligence. Think before you act. It might cost you. Dr. Alice, let's talk soon. I want to add value to your life. Bye.